to my Films of the Year 2021. This was my 2021 at the movies.
Does James Bond need the Joker?
He's gonna die!
2021 has been a really epic year for cinema in my book, with the streaming giants of Netflix, Amazon, Disney and Sky adding to the richness and diversity of films being produced. It's also marked the year where the pre-pandemic logjam from 2020 has finally been released, so it's no surprise then that there's been so much quality content coming down the pipe. That's made my job of coming up with a top 10 very, very difficult this year. I did a triage and came up with 28 films which I thought were worthy of my top 10. But before I get into my well-whittled list, let me give some honourable mentions to some films which didn't quite make that list. They are The Father, A Quiet Place Part 2, Cruella, Free Guy, Minari, One Night in Miami, Tick Tick Boom, Another Round, Censor, Greenland and Sweetheart. So here is my list of my personal top 10 of films that I saw in 2021, starting with my number 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are stories of men and women very much like you, waiting for better days to come.
You can't have her! And I'm taking her home!
At my number 10 is Tom Hanks' alternative western, News of the World. The tale of Captain Kidd, played by Hanks, bringing the latest news as a sort of roving internet to towns in the Old West was interesting enough. But I found the add-on story of his self-proclaimed mission to reunite lost stray Johanna, wonderfully played by the young Helena Zengel, with her only surviving relatives, to be very touching indeed. Co-written and directed by Paul Greengrass and with a wonderful score by James Newton Howard, this film I thought was great, and I'm only sorry I wasn't able to see it in all its spectacle on a big screen.
I used to work for some very dangerous people. They came after my family.
They stole my kitty cat bracelet.
And you don't do that.
Give me the kitty cat bracelet!
I've rated many other films higher during 2021, but nobody made my list because it's probably the most fun I've had at the cinema during 2021. Yes, it's horribly violent in the style of Die Hard and Taken, but I thought the kick-ass father and son team of Bob Odenkirk and Christopher Lloyd were simply wonderful, and the film has lots of laugh out loud moments.
power that rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
He's getting a richer one.
He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap.
In terms of sci-fi spectacle, it's not got any better this year than Dune. Denis Villeneuve delivered us his vision of Frank Herbert's unfilmable novel, and it was stunning. Greg Fraser must surely get an Oscar nomination for his cinematography. I'm going to put this into my list now before I attempt a small screen rewatch, because I suspect the smaller scale and the rather slow plot might mean I have a similar reaction to Denis Villeneuve's 2016 hit Arrival, which made my top slot in that year, but on rewatch, didn't quite do it for me the same way.
We started getting some visitors. From every universe.
Hello, Peter.
Spider-Man No Way Home. What a blast of a Marvel movie this was. I've always liked Tom Holland's take on Spider-Man, but this film outdid all his previous efforts in terms of twists and surprises in the Spider-Verse. As well as being thrilling and occasionally very moving, it also made me laugh a lot.
Who are these unstoppable warriors?
We're the Mitchells, the only people who can save the world. I'm super sorry, everybody.
Another comedy blast was The Mitchells vs. the Machines, a brilliant animated movie. This one delivered in the same way as the best Pixar movies, in delivering knockabout humour for the youngsters, but also deep, touching and devilishly witty humour for the adults. Dog, pig, loaf of bread. It blew my mind.
And what do you hope to gain from facing all of this? Honor?
A complete change of pace for my number 5. Unfortunately, I was only able to see The Green Knight on a small screen, but the imagery and mysticism of David Lowery's film has stayed with me ever since. Dev Patel is wonderful as Gawain, the slightly dodgy knight, and the gorgeous Alicia Vikander plays brilliantly two completely diverse roles in the film. Highly recommended if you've not caught it.
Just listen to the music of the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalks where the neon signs are pretty. How can you lose?
Of all the trailers I saw in 2021, Last Night in Soho was my absolute favourite. I loved the mystical time travel elements of the film, with one of my favourite young actresses, Thomasin McKenzie, travelling back each night to occupy the body of Anya Taylor-Joy, an entertainer in a slightly dodgy and seedy Soho nightclub in the 60s. It gets into more of a horror vibe in the second half of the film, which might not be for everybody. But overall, Edgar Wright's film, once again, gets a place in my top 5. It also has an utterly stonking soundtrack.
Your hearing is deteriorating rapidly.
We'll come back. Till then, Lou, we just keep going, okay?
No.
Lou,
No.
let's play tomorrow. Let's see what it's like, okay? I'm gonna be like a click track. You can play to me.
Is it any surprise that Sound of Metal won the Oscar for Best Sound? Nope, I don't think so. This tale of Riz Ahmed as a rock drummer who loses his hearing is truly touching, and it has a great supporting role for Paul Raci, also Oscar winning. The movie has the best final 2 minutes of any movie I saw in 2021. I cried.
What is it?
You don't know what this is. Is she one of them?
I don't know her at all. When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
Daniel Craig's swan song as Bond seems to have polarised some audiences thanks to a final real plot point. But I loved it, a perfect blend of action and emotion. It's no coincidence that Hans Zimmer's score leans so heavily on John Barry's score for OHMSS. The movie also features a wonderful kick-ass cameo from Craig's Knives Out co-star Ana de Armas, playing the Cuban assistant Paloma. The lady really deserves her own spin-off movie franchise.
I am a nice guy.
Are you? How old am I? What are my hobbies? What's my name? Sorry, maybe that one's too hard.
So my top slot this year goes to the multi-talented Emerald Fennell's debut feature, Promising Young Woman. The film is chock full of wit, black humour and killer tunes, and has twists that you really don't see coming until they hit you straight between the eyes. Carey Mulligan is also fabulous in this tale of a woman's revenge against mankind. I simply loved it. So that's my personal list for 2021, with the emphasis on the word personal. I'm sure there are a few films in there that you might have absolutely detested, and you're also shouting at the screen saying, Dr. Bob, why didn't you include that? But hey, that's my list. I hope you enjoy your movie watching during 2022 and have a very happy new year. Thanks for watching One Man's Movies. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and if you'd like to comment, feel free.